Hello. Today's probably one of the last days I'll get to actually talk outside because it's warm. Usually at this time of the night it's about -5, and for some reason today it's beautiful. Well, it's not beautiful, it's probably about 5 or 10 degrees. But I'm able to stand here. I should probably put more clothes on, but anyway. So the sun's going down. It's only about 6:30 at night, 7 o'clock. It'll start going down sooner and sooner, and in a couple of months the sun will only be up from about 8 AM to 4 or 5 PM. But for now it's pretty reasonable. It's just like daylight savings time at home. So today I did a presentation on myself. The title was All About Me. Oh, there's a couple down there making out in the secret hidey hole because you're not allowed to do it in public. Yeah, so I started off with this presentation all about me because my work wants me to make presentations about Australia and about things. You know, they gave me a lot of scope. So I started with the presentation on me, telling them where I grew up, where I studied, what I studied, what I like to do in my spare time, what countries I've been to, things like that, so that they can put me in all together and know what they can expect of me and what I can help them with, which is all well and good. And it actually worked quite well because now I've had a few people express interest in me doing some things for them. I don't know what, because I was told I wasn't allowed to do them, but it's good that they're thinking about it. And I made them tell me what they want to know about Australia. So they gave me some ideas about, they want to know about which I'm not sure what that is, so that will have to be scrapped off the list. But they want to know about dingoes and about auctioneering in you know, when you sell animals, you send them to the sale yards to have them auctioned off. They want to know about the regulations surrounding that. I didn't even think about it. In Mongolia, animals aren't really sold. They're kind of just, you know, sold in between neighbours and friends and taken to town just to sell to somebody for a set price. But if they were to introduce something along the lines of sale yards and auctions, the price can actually be competitive, and it might go up and down according to what's available, which would really, you know, could really change the way that they farm here, which is pretty exciting. It's pretty daunting for me though, because I have no idea about Australian sales and marketing and auctioneering, but hopefully will get in contact with a few auctioneers in Mudgee that will be able to give me a, you know, 10-minute this is actually how it works lesson, and I'm sure Dad will be able to help me out as well. So that's really interesting. They used to do sell animals kind of in a sales auction in the Soviet time, but they just had one guy that went from Soom to Soom, which is like from kind of like going from Mudgee to Dubbo, from Mudgee to Dubbo, from Mudgee to Dubbo on a bi-weekly basis. But he just said you will be paid $10 per sheep and that's it, instead of saying, oh well, you know, actually this fella wants your sheep, oh no, that fella wants some more, he'll pay more, he'll pay less, oh no, now it's drought. You know, it doesn't represent the climate and the weather at the time, and I can't remember what it's called, you know, when people actually want your stuff or whether they don't want your stuff, they'll pay you accordingly. So that's something that I'll start looking into and I have to do a presentation on very soon. Next major thing to discuss with you is I told my work today and my AAD, my volunteer manager, that I want to complete my assignment at the end of October, which is a big deal, and I didn't take it lightly. It's an evolution of a decision that's been happening for a long time. It's not something that's been easy to implement. Usually I've got a list of things so long and I've written it so many times that you know, everything's justified and everything's planned and everything's fine. But this time I decided to go with my instincts and say, look, my job is boring, I don't want to live in Mongolia, and I want to enjoy myself. So I've gone with those, which is a lot harder than it sounds, because there's implications for everybody. But I came here to help, and that's not what I'm doing, so why not go and have fun somewhere else? It might not be Turkey and Croatia like I was thinking, because I think it's going to be too cold in Turkey and Croatia in November and December. But that's no problem, there's plenty more places to go in the world. It also means I forfeit my flights that I had booked for Christmas and to go home. But it's something that I have to come to terms with. I was too planned, which meant that now because I've changed my plan, I have to, you know, deal with that. They didn't want me to leave. They kept like guilt tripping me into it. 6 months isn't long enough, and everybody's only just started to understand their role by 6 months, and in the next 3 months you'll start working on things, and you haven't given it long enough, your work is still a trial, just try and make it work, you obviously haven't tried hard enough to make it work, who have you talked to, what have you done, all these kind of things. And I could cry about it all day, but it boils down to I'm not happy doing the job that I'm doing, so there's no point in me staying, really. It's horrible. Anyway, now I have decisions to make. I am out of here at the end of October, and I need to come to terms with that pretty freaking quickly, because I'd set myself ready to live here for 12 months. I'd bought everything for 12 months. I have everything down to contraception for 12 months. I've got vitamin tablets for 12 months. I've got a sewing machine to last me through winter that I'm not going to need anymore. So it's all kind of shit. And it's a lot of loss on my behalf. But saying that, it also opens up a lot of opportunities. It's pressured my work into telling me why I'm there, what they want from me, what I can do to help, and what will fit into the time that I've got available. They prioritise things. So I've got 3 massive things to do, and I've got scope, and I've got reason, and I've got examples to go by. Like, I can do it. It's no problem. I can do it. I just have to fit it in with figuring out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. So, but that can be done in my sleep, right? Yeah, so there's a lot of exciting things to think of. I'm going to leave here at the end of October, and I'll go home and meet Nate and see Mum and Dad, and the girls will be home as well. And I will buy tickets to somewhere else, and I'll go on holidays for a month or 2 and come back to a job that I haven't decided on yet. It might be anything. It might be recruitment. It might be geology. Christ only knows, I could end up working at Woolworths. I don't know. I don't really care. As long as I'm happy. It doesn't matter. Yes. Anyway, last time I spoke for too long and I couldn't actually upload the video, so I'm going to end it there. Nice talking to you. I just thought I'd trying to write down how I was feeling today wasn't working. I just couldn't bring the words and the sentences together to say exactly how horrible it was to have to tell these people that wanted me that I don't want to work for them anymore. But anyway, I've done it. The hard part's over. Hopefully it means that for the next person it will be easier. It's kind of like paving the way as the eldest kid. You know, you do the shit parts, and then once you've done the shit bit, somebody else can go behind you and maybe play in some respect or another. Anyway, I hope you're well. See you sooner than I expected, of course. Have a lovely night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.